Recycle Studio is a new facility to our city, opening just weeks ago in Willowgrove. This studio was created by 4 community members dedicated to helping people reach their fitness goals while learning how to control their breath. One way they do this is through their specialty bikes called Real Riders. As you can see, these bikes are not like your everyday spin bikes as they move with your body. We'll learn the science behind these bikes on today's show. Here's a look at what else is coming up. Community members are drenched in sweat and breathing heavily as they take part in one of the classes offered through the new Recycle Studio. But before we learn more about these unique bikes, the University of Saskatchewan Huskies football team recently unveiled their latest crop of recruits during their largest annual fundraiser. Simon Hyde has more from the Dog's Breakfast. The training wheels are off. We are working much more than just our quads. Of course, we are hanging out at Recycle Studio with our friend Dorman here. Dorman, before we launch into these Real Rider bikes and the uniqueness of these bikes, tell me how Recycle Studio came to be.
Recycle Studio came to be from a dream that I've had after racing mountain bikes and road bikes in California. And moving here to Saskatoon, I realized that there was a lack of a boutique facility. So I teamed up with our partners, Cheryl and Clay Sparks. They had the same vision as I did, and we sat down, planned for about a year, and here we are today. Our first class was March 18th. So we've been open for about 6 weeks now.
Wow.
Yeah.
New.
Brand new, brand spanking new.
Brand spanking new. All right, well, I'm excited to try this out. I mentioned it right off the top. The bikes that we're on are not your everyday spin bikes. These are called Real Riders. Can you explain the science behind these bikes?
Real Riders, the science behind Real Riders is that they actually mimic being on a real bike. So you actually can move the bike, you can turn and lean, and it just engages your entire core. So not only is your core working, your legs are working, but your upper body's working also. So it's almost as if you get a full, not even as if, you get a full body workout that you're in control of. The cool thing about these bikes is that every muscle in your body comes along for what we call the party. You know, so moving your legs, and if you notice, if you just rock it gently, you're not gonna fall off.
Ooh, yeah, it does kind of feel like you're gonna fall.
You know, but it's such that dynamic movement in the core balance technology that the Real Rider implemented on these bikes just gives you that real bike ride feel, which for us here at Breathe is really important because the breath is always moving, so we want to move. We love moving as human beings. Movement is our nature.
The power is within yourself.
It's within yourself, exactly.
Perfect. Now, Dorman, there is a class happening right now, but it's so loud in there because the energy is pumping, the movements are pumping. So we've stepped outside to talk a little bit about these bikes, but what is the type of feedback that you've had from community members when they come to your classes?
For me, the one is when the bikes move, they find out that the bikes move and they're like, whoa, it moves. So,
not expecting it.
Not expecting the movement. And then they come out of class and they're like, wow, that was awesome. Like I can feel my core already. Because even just sitting here, your core is already engaged. So the core muscles and just the overall experience, the lights, the music, the instructors, the energy in the room. The main thing is that we want you to reconnect with your breath, right? Remember that you're in complete control. If your body's telling you to back off, back off. If you want to work a little more, then work a little more. If you feel like the tension isn't enough, then turn up that dial.
Turn it up.
Just turn it up. Remember, you're in control, and your RPM, the computers tell you what your RPM is, and so you're always able to gauge yourself.
Back off a bit of the tension. Come on down. As we've learned on today's show, these Real Rider bikes are used for a reason. season, but before we can put these bikes to the test, let's take a look at a fashion show that was recently held at Prairieland Park, all in support of the Greater Saskatoon Catholic School Foundation. We are sweating it out here at Recycle Studio. We are learning how to control our breath while using the unique Real Rider bikes. Joining me again is Dorman, and he's now going to show me a few exercises. Dorman, I gotta say I'm getting winded already, so this is gonna be interesting. What do you want to show us first?
First, I want to show you the movement of the bike. So just so you get a little familiar with what's happening underneath you. So let's go and make a left turn. So remember, as you encourage with the right arm, encourage that left arm. So kind of like pull with the left arm. So think of turning like you would on a real bike.
Right.
Yeah, awesome. Belly button back to the spine, and then come back to the center, and then let's switch sides. So let's go over to the right. Yeah. And then notice and check in with your body. See if you're pulling the handlebar like this, and then just come back to the center and look right in between those aero bars. Yeah, and then come back to the center. Let's add a little bit of a tension. So it feels a little sticky, but not too sticky.
Okay.
And then come out the saddle. Yeah. And then remember, that bike wants to move, so let it do what it wants to do.
Oh, okay.
And then just keep that belly button locked to the spine. And then let's see if we can add a little bit of that RPM here. So pick it up, let it rock. Hold it steady, lock the belly button back to the spine. This is a little core work here. And then here we go. Let's go over to the right. Belly button back to the spine. Yep. So your core, again, is totally engaged. You can feel that in your obliques. You can feel it in that right quad. Back to the center. Over to the left. There you go. You're doing awesome.
Yeah?
And then bring it back to the center. Let's rock it again. Let's go for a little sprint here out the saddle. Push. Yeah, and then bring it down. And let's come to the arrow position. Forearms down. Nice, breathe. Nice, be like Zen. Here we go, let's go over to the left, control the breath. Back to the center, and then over to the right. There you go. You're natural at this.
I don't know about that.
Come back, breathe, let it go. Back to the center, sit up. Let's come over to the right, or the left.
Yeah.
Over to the right, left, right. One more. Center, let's add a little more. You forget the pedal sometimes.
Focused on my
Let's add a little tension. We're gonna come out the saddle one more time, and then come on up.
Woo.
Yeah.
Holy macaroni. This is
So,
a full body workout.
oh yeah, so you see in no time.
Yeah,
You're
we're
sweating.
listening.
Let's slow it down.
Forward. Decrease tension immediately.
Decrease the tension.
All right,
45 minutes of that.
45 minutes of that. You know what? And we got to talk to a community member who actually took part in a 45-minute class. Her name is Courtney, and I can't breathe. So let's take a look at what she had to say about her experience. We are learning all about the unique Real Rider bikes on today's show. Joining me right now is Courtney, and she actually just finished one of her classes. So thanks so much for being brave enough to come on camera with us after sweating it out. You guys look like you were just drenched. What is that experience like on these special bikes?
I compare it to just like surrendering to yourself. So it's an experience for me to go inward. I enjoy yoga, and I find that I can meet myself on the mat, and I find this is equivalent to that, just a little bit more cardio. So a lot more sweat and a lot more work, but it's awesome.
Yeah, what is the challenge of the bike actually moving with your body? What do you have to really engage in, and what tips do you have for community members when they come to try out this class?
So it's really about control in your body. So if you go inside and have a little bit of body awareness, as long as you're thinking about what muscle that is that's working, you're really going inside and engaging that muscle. So it is really balance within. Like, you don't just want to focus on the one side. So it's a lot about balance and engaging. I think it's great. I think it's essential. Nowadays we have all this technology that is doing all the work for us, and so in turn we still have to do some work. And these real riders are real work. They work your entire body, so it's awesome.
That's right. They work your entire body, and what I love about it is it's just about a 45-minute class, so it's not a super long time, and you get a full body workout.
Yeah.
Courtney, thank you so much for joining me. That's just one way real riders are shaping bodies here in the community. Thanks so much again, Courtney. We'll be right back after the break. The atmosphere in the Breeze Cycle studio is extremely different now that community members have wrapped up their class. But before we talk to Dorman about future plans for the studio, let's throw it over to Simon Hyatt, who has our next story. Although Breeze Cycle Studio has only been open for 6 weeks, there are already big plans for its future. Joining me again is Dorman, one of the co-founders of this studio. Dorman, I mentioned it, there are lots of plans in the works for Breeze Cycle. Tell us a bit about the Holistic Challenge coming up.
Well, we have a 30-day holistic fitness challenge coming up, and it's kind of like a boot camp. But the difference is we've included ride and yoga classes. So one day you'll be doing kettlebell work with Lane Bittner, one of our awesome kettlebell instructors. And then we have Lauren, who will be doing a strength training portion. I'll be helping out with that. And then you come in the studio with me and we do a ride and yoga combo. So you have 2 days of outside and a day of being inside, sweating all around.
And why offer a holistic challenge for community members?
Well, you know, I think as human beings, we like to live holy, right? So we want to train our minds, our bodies, and our souls. And we feel that, for me, as a holistic fitness student, I feel that combining all these different elements, yoga, meditation, strength training, and cardio, helps us to live like a full life, you know, and it just allows our bodies to function the way we expect it to function.
So what do you hope community members get out of this challenge?
Well, for one, moving beyond your comfort zone and really reconnecting with your breath and your body, which is so important. We spend our lives, you know, working and taking care of other people, that I think with the holistic challenge, we're able to come back home to ourselves and to our bodies and really move from a place of gratitude and appreciation through those challenges.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds great. And you can go to breezecycle.com for all that information. And you did mention it, yoga is going to be a part of that holistic challenge. A newer thing to Breeze Cycle, you don't offer it right now, but what are your plans for yoga in the future?
In a couple weeks, we're going to be offering yoga classes here at Breathe. For us, it's a natural progression. The two go hand in hand. When I was racing, you know, my coach prescribed yoga as a way for me to win races, and I thought it was just for racing, but it's completely stuck, and it's made a huge difference in my life and the way how I treat others. And we're passionate about helping people and really inspiring people to not only grow, but to really connect with themselves. And we feel that the breath is a great tool to do that. And with these real riders, it helps you to reconnect with the breath. And the four of us, you know, we have this super awesome relationship in that we all bring our strengths to the relationship. It just flows.
We've worked our core, legs, upper body, and most importantly, we've learned how to reconnect with our breath during our time here at Breeze Cycle Studio. And the best part about it is you're burning all these calories and working all these muscles on the use of one machine. If you want to learn more about these unique Real Rider bikes, make sure you head to breezecycle.com. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Janella Hamilton. We'll see you next time.